Hey everyone, welcome to the channel and another review. Welcome especially if you're new. Thanks for being here and checking out this review. I just got back from seeing Firestarter at the theater, so let's talk about it. So in this movie, a young girl tries to understand how she mysteriously gained the power to set things on fire with her mind. My anticipation going into this film was not really it wasn't very high. I've seen the trailers or a trailer that they've been playing in front of movies recently. Recognize Zac Efron as an actor, and it looked interesting enough. A story focusing on a real life superhero, so to speak. Although I think we're getting more and more of those, so it doesn't feel as fresh as it maybe once did. But I was interested to check it out. So with that, let's go in and see what I thought of it. So first up, I'm going to cover the things that I liked about the film. And first and foremost, I liked Zac Efron. I thought he did a great job in this role. I think the script could have certainly been better in spots, but he did the very best that he could with, what he was given, and certainly elevates the material that he was given there. So I thought he did a really good job, and his character was, one of the more interesting ones in the film. Likewise, I thought his wife in the film was well done. I thought the actress did a good job there. And, I thought they just gave yeah, they brought some I thought they improved the movie just with their presence. So those were the first two that come to mind. Other things that I did like, I really liked the music. The score for this was very good. I'm definitely going to check it out if it's available on Amazon Music to listen to. Other than that, I thought the look of the film looked very nice. It was a very clean look, and I thought, yeah, there was just I kind of like the style that they went with there, kind of the color grading. And then I also liked kind of just like the premise, the idea that you have, two parents who went through, scientific tests and kind of altered, they weren't born with superpowers, but through testing became super. And then they have a kid who's naturally superpowered and, figuring out her abilities. So I thought that was an interesting premise. I don't think the film kind of followed through on that or kind of lived up to the potential that was there, but it certainly sucked me in from the beginning. And I think what also helped with that is they don't really tell you everything up front. They kind of just drop you in, and there's definitely things that they show but don't fully explain, at least not up front, and you kind of get explanations as the film goes on. So I thought that was good story structure to kind of keep you engaged through that aspect of it. But those are the things that I liked about the film. The things that I didn't really care for as much. The main one is the commander or captain from, I think the organization is SPI. Basically, the other people, the government that's trying to capture the child or the girl. And I thought her character was just really poorly written and just very stereotypical, like head honcho government person who's just strictly about the job, and it's what we've seen before, but on top of that I thought just the dialogue was even worse than what you kind of normally get. So nothing against the actors. I think the character was just very poorly written. I also didn't really care for, really understand the scene where they go to the doctor that developed the serum that created the supers in the first place. That scene just didn't really have any impact on the story overall. It was just there and felt like it was there for an exposition dump, and also to kind of heighten the stakes because he's like, oh, she's going to be able to do this and this and this. And it's like, well, you developed the serum and, tested it on people, but it's still like you don't have proof of the results, and you're also talking about a biological child of two of your original test subjects. So how do you really know what she's going to be capable of? But he's saying it very authoritatively, and I just didn't really buy it. It just felt very forced, very contrived way to kind of heighten the stakes of the film. Another thing that I didn't really care for was I thought the actress that played the girl, she did an okay job. I recognize again, it's not every child actor is going to they're still learning. So I mean, I hope she has a very good career and she, improves as an actress. But in this role, she just didn't really draw me in. I thought she just kind of tried too much in being kind of this brooding, kind of gloomy sort of character, and yeah, it just felt a little too forced, or that she was trying too hard. So, yeah, decent. Not certainly not the worst child actress, but it did kind of take me out of the film just a little bit. And I think for a film focused on, where the main character is a child, that's the make or break for the film. And for this one, she just didn't quite make the film for me. And then another thing I didn't really care for was kind of the mixed messaging that the film has. I think it was interesting that they brought up. So, like, the dad is, well, at first he's against her kind of learning how to use her powers. And that's mainly because his philosophy is, like, we shouldn't hurt people. Like, even if they're people who do bad things, there's still people that love them and that will be hurt if we hurt them and kill them. And so I think that's kind of his motivation for saying, hey, I don't want to train our daughter how to use her powers because then she'll be able to kill people. And I mean, that changes. So as he's teaching her how to use her powers, he does bring this up and he's like, hey, just because you can hurt people and just because people are bad doesn't mean you should hurt them. And I thought that was, very interesting to bring that up. It's a good philosophical point. But they examine it through that lens, through that character, but then the rest of the movie, how it plays out, seems to fully contradict that. Like, you'll have characters, this happens fairly early on, so this is just an example, but it happens multiple times. So there's this cat that is just like wandering around the parking lot, and then the girl goes to pet the cat and it scratches her, and then she reacts by unleashing fire on it and burning it. But so it's like anytime they set that up where she's hurting people or creatures, they always preface it with that character doing something like bad, or in this case the cat scratched her, so it in the back of your mind is like, oh, it deserves it. And like anytime basically somebody does something wrong and kind of shifts into, it demonstrates that they're kind of in that bad category, then they're hurt. So the actions of the movie actually speak against that, which would seem that like the movie is falling, like, yeah, this is an interesting philosophical question, but we're falling in the camp that it's still fine to hurt people, even though like Zac Efron's character speaks to that so strongly, how he feels differently on that. So I just felt like it came across as mixed messaging for the movie. And then just the last couple things, I thought the special effects were pretty weak. Like anytime she's using her powers, it basically happens off screen for the most part. And yeah, I guess they were probably just having to do it in budget, and that's fine. And I get that, but when we live in an age with movies like Marvel and stuff where we're used to seeing things on screen, it was a little underwhelming for that reason. And then the last thing that I had an issue with was just kind of the script overall. I talked about it for a couple of the characters, but I thought the dialogue throughout the film was not very strong. So I thought that should have probably used some more work before they actually went ahead and started filming. But that kind of sums up my thoughts on the film, the things that I liked, the things I didn't really like. There's certainly a lot more in the didn't like category, so it's not a surprise that, overall, I didn't really care for this film. It was kind of a meh coming out of the theater. I'd give it a letter grade of a C. It wasn't bad, but I didn't enjoy it all that much either. I'm happy that it gave me a nice new soundtrack to listen to, one that I think I'll really like. But other than that, I thought it's an interesting premise of a movie. They got a couple good actors in there to, take some of the leads. And at the end of the day, though, it just didn't really quite come together for me in the end. So if you've been able to see Firestarter, definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. What did you think of kind of did it come across to you as like mixed messaging on, kind of the themes of the movie? I think for me, that was the most interesting part of the film. But, did you like it? Did you not care for it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, that does it for this review for Firestarter. If you've enjoyed it, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And with that, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.